Namaskar. Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host 𝙒𝙖𝙩𝙤 and this is Daily Global Insights episode 346. We regret that we could not bring it to you yesterday because of some internet difficulties, and we have with us our co-host 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙪𝙤 and he is joining us, and we will be talking about the first thing, which is the sale of $450 million worth F-16s to Pakistan by the United States. 𝗤𝙧𝙤, namaskar. What do you make of it, sir?
Namaskar, good morning, and happy to be back here. What do I make of it? I think there's been a long-standing relationship between between United States and Pakistan, and aid and assistance had been flowing through it until the Trump administration came in, and there was a reset, and stronger compliance rules were demanded from Pakistan side. And then, of course, now we have Biden administration, which is looking at everything going back, including the Iran deal. So this is part of the package, and so they're meeting the obligations at the request of the Pakistanis. Remember, Pakistan was one of the countries which was part of the Afghan deal as well. So that's the construct. Again, it's purely for defense purposes, and let us see what the Pakistanis do with it. And I don't think this is going to be viewed any differently by the Indian side.
And also, if I remember correctly, 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙪𝙤, they are not supposed to take off any of these without the permission of the United States. So there's a check and balance here. Last time there was a question about that. Abhinandan, many of you may remember that. So there is an interesting development here. This is part of a long-standing tradition of giving a certain number of F-16s to Pakistan. So let's move on to the next, which perhaps is a bigger embarrassment for the United States. Its F-35 has been found to have a component that uses Chinese technology, appears to be something of a magnetic in nature. 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙪𝙤, how did this happen? You have a huge military budget. How did these guys let this thing slip in, sir?
Well, I have to commend the Chinese for making their way into the most advanced aircraft that United States produces or manufactures. I think it's by Lockheed Martin, and there you go. So I think they found this part, and so they have not only, this is the official statement from Department of Defense, they have stopped the supply to their own three branches, which is the Air Force, the Navy, and the ground force, the armed forces. So therefore, they've stopped not only that, but they've also stopped the shipment of the international orders until it is reviewed. But it is a big embarrassment for United States.
And as an aside, the oil prices have now dropped below $85. Is this the price of Brent, or is it West Texas Intermediate crude, sir?
It's the Brent. It's the Brent crude.
Okay. Well, that means that WTI is even lower. Go ahead, sir.
Is lower. The prices are falling, not because there is enough supply. That's the reason why the supply was also cut. But there is a looming threat of recession. Yeah, there's a looming threat of recession, and so therefore they expect demand to come down, as you rightly point out.
And in a piece of good news for India, Moody's says that India's rating is stable, and it says that India's currency will depreciate, but it will stay in a narrow band between $79 to $80, 80 rupees per dollar. And India has set the priority for 𝗤𝙗𝘂 agenda, and next week with terrorism, connectivity, food and energy security, and it is sending a clear message that this doesn't mean it's part of anti-US or West grouping. So India is again back to playing the balancing act. If you remember correctly, 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙪𝙤, today I just saw moments ago that there is going to be a new summit meeting between Russia and China and Uzbekistan, and India is not part of that one. So I think India is now beginning to walk a lone furrow. They are just walking alone and going by on their own and taking things on a merit by merit basis, on an issue by issue basis. That's how I see it. I think it's a good thing for India. I don't know how you see it, 𝗤𝙧𝙤𝙪𝙤. Please let us know.
Yeah. Great, thank you. First, let me cover the economic side. So it is the Moody's rating is an endorsement of what we said about a couple of days ago in DGI. What is the macroeconomic perspective from an Indian point of view? They have highlighted some of the things that we have talked about. That is, India has addressed the supply side. The problem we have been saying is when there is a demand side issue, then the central banks play a role with the monetary tools. India has done admirably well in terms of three areas. One is food. The second is around around the energy, which is a big item. So therefore, they have addressed the supply side of the dynamic. So they do not expect any kind of external headwinds to influence the Indian economic growth. So we can cover that, in subsequent sessions. But it's good news for India from a stability point of view. As far as the currency is concerned, this is our opinion, which is namely the currency will depreciate because the United States dollar is continuing to appreciate against the various currencies. But given the stable nature of the Indian economy, we expect that India to be operating. Sorry, just one moment, please. India to be operating in that less than $80 before the support comes in. But it will be Indian rupee will depreciate, but will appreciate much more related to the other currencies. And finally, your one. Sorry, sir.
Go ahead, sir. Yeah.
Finally, your point on the 𝙒𝙗𝘂𝑚 meet, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meet. I think India has made it very clear this is not about taking sides with any nation, or it is not an endorsement of recognizing that it is joining part of an anti-United States or anti-West team. It is about discussing security, terrorism, energy, food, all as it relates to the region. So I think India has made its position very clear in terms of why it is attending the 𝙒𝘂𝑚 meet, and it has steadfastly maintained that position. As you correctly pointed out and setting the context, India is taking an independent approach, in terms of it's protecting its national interests. It says that it is about our country, just as you are protecting. But having said that, United States and Japan and Europe is courting India more and more, and we'll discuss this more in subsequent DGI sessions.
Absolutely, sir. And I'm just going to read a couple of news items that I think your viewers, you deserve to know, because this is something that is really, really disturbing. One of them is growing ghettos across the United States with the homeless and illegal aliens. They are set in parks, they are in places where, normal people move about, and it is something that is running away without control. And there are pictures of, this happening in the city of Portland, considered to be one of the most liberal cities. Sridharji, Portland, Seattle, San Francisco, New York, these are the iconic cities, sir. Why are we trashing ourselves?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see whether I can show this picture to people. So therefore, if you can see that this is in Portland. Okay?
Yes.
You can see this. So this is in Portland. So this is what is happening. So many of this, what you call as the blue democratic run cities, now the people are raising, their voices, which is to say their parks are now beginning to be converted into ghettos. In New York, we have gone one step further. We accommodate them in 5-star hotels, right? So we have been booking and accommodating them in 5-star hotels. And we have also accommodated them on streets. And this is happening in DC, this is happening in Chicago. Portland, which is considered to be the bluest of the blue states, now you see their parks, which they're very proud of, is now the home, which is making it extremely unsafe for people to conduct their normal activities.
Thank you very much, Sridharji. Viewers, kindly like, share, and subscribe to our program. And don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. If you liked our research, kindly consider donating to us using the super thanks button. Sridharji, thank you for taking time out from your busy schedule to share your thoughts on this. We'll be back again tomorrow, bright and early. Namaskar and stay safe.
Namaskar. Thank you. Stay safe and stay well.